Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
Right now at 7, a suspect killed by police not far from an Orlando high school. Why officers argue they were forced to defend themselves.
And celebrating New Year's safely, police departments ramping up patrols for the holiday. We're going to talk about the massive celebration that they're expecting downtown.
Also, beware of fog this morning. You're going to want to take it a little slow out there in some parts because we are seeing a blanket of it. This is downtown Orlando on the left side of the screen there. A little bit of misty as you walk out the door. Great to have you with us, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. I'm Amy Kaufeld.
Happy New Year's Eve and welcome back. I think between our schedules, I haven't seen you in like 18 days.
I know, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You were gone and then I was gone and now everybody's back together.
Yeah, so welcome back.
Until
just
tomorrow.
in time for the end of the new year. By the way, I was looking at New York City. I think it's going to be in the 40s.
Wow, that's
for
actually,
them, that's not bad.
That's balmy.
Yeah, the year I was there was like 25. It was freezing. So, Jess, they'll have decent weather at least.
Yeah, if you're going to be heading out to New York City, good luck. Hopefully you make it in time. But here's a live view of our dense fog advisory because we're going to be a lot warmer than New York City, thankfully. We do have that dense fog advisory in place, though, until 9 a.m. for all the counties you see here shaded in blue. That is going to be where we expect the worst of the fog to take place. And we actually have seen some small and steady improvements, believe it or not, in terms of the dense fog out there. So just keep that in mind. But if you're going to be hitting the roadways, I-95, especially close to, say, Brevard County, this is where we have a lot of that reduced visibility taking place. We can see, though, some headlights there. So that is good news. But otherwise, just keep in mind, give yourself a couple of extra minutes to get out the door. Temperatures, though, are on the warm side. We are already in the mid to upper 60s across all of Central Florida at this hour. So it is a warm start to our day. You won't need the jacket. 66 degrees right now in Orlando, 68 in Bithlo and Sanford, and 68 as well in DeLand and Leesburg. So as you head out the door this morning, yes, we'll have to deal with some of that patchy dense fog, but it won't stick around all morning. By roughly 10, 11 o'clock, we'll see a lot of improvements and temperatures will quickly climb into the upper 70s and low 80s. So coming up, I'll talk more on just how long this warm up will last. But first, to check out the roadways with Sky Fox traffic. And so far this morning, we've had a pretty smooth go of things. This is a usual trouble spot for us, especially around the 7 o'clock hour and the fact that we have some dense fog. But it looks like US Highway 27 on I-4 in the eastbound direction. That's heading into downtown Orlando. We're in good shape. We can see the traffic is flowing smoothly in both directions at this point. We're not seeing a whole lot in the way of stop and go, and we are in the green all the way into downtown. So a 26-minute commute for you. I'll keep you posted, though, of any other incidents that do pop up, along with any other delays as well. Until then, I'll send it back over to you, Amy and Ryan at the desk.
Jessica, thanks. 7:01 on this New Year's Eve, and we're learning more about an officer-involved shooting in Orlando. This happened a block away from Evans High School in Pine Hills.
Officers responding to Shining Hollow Terrace about 9:13 last night for a domestic disturbance call. Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie has the latest. Well, happening today, the woman accused of shooting her husband inside of a Daytona Beach hospital is set to appear in court. Investigators say Ellen Gilland shot her terminally ill husband as part of a suicide pact. She was initially charged with first-degree murder, but those charges were changed to assisting self-murder and aggravated assault. Court starts at 8:30 this morning in Daytona Beach. She said she had planned to turn the gun on herself, but did not have the strength.
In Volusia County, a man at the center of a deadly stand-your-ground case is now cleared of criminal charges. A judge dismissed the case against 79-year-old Edward Drzelowski. Now, last year, a dispute between neighbors on Alameda Drive turned deadly. According to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Drzelowski shot and killed 42-year-old Brian Ford after claiming Ford was cutting tree limbs on his property and ignored warnings to leave.
New details this morning on a crash between the Bright Line and a fire truck that happened over the weekend. We're now hearing from a man who was on that train. It happened Saturday in South Florida. 12 passengers and 3 firefighters were hurt. The man and 13 members of his family were heading to Orlando following a holiday cruise. He says they were in the last car of the train and knew things were bad before they could even see the debris.
Crowd of people kind of gathered around and they were filming, and I was watching their reactions because I couldn't actually see the wreck that was behind us from the window, but they were covering their mouths and shaking.
He says that fire crews may have thought it was clear to cross the tracks because a cargo train had just gone through. Brightline is demanding and reminding drivers to never go around crossing gates when they're down. The crash is still under investigation.
One update now on a troubled police department in Volusia County. Holly Hill Police Chief Byron Williams is talking about his first 100 days in office now. He took office in July after the last chief resigned. Since then, Chief Williams saying the department has added a handful of new initiatives like a canine and a drone program, with more on the way.
We're looking to incorporate a lot more things, a lot more tools, a lot more programs here in the city of Holly Hill, and I can't wait to see those things go forward.
Their flight. Well, the previous Holly Hill police chief was Jeff Miller. He's being investigated, or was being investigated, for claims of sexual misconduct, among other allegations. One of Miller's captains and a sergeant also stepped down.
Thousands of people expected to be in downtown for tonight's New Year's celebration.
It should be a big party, not just the parties that are bringing people to Orlando. We've got sports fans in town for the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. That is at Camping World Stadium. And I feel like Morgan Parrish has been our party coordinator this week. She's been tracking the bowl games. We got another one, the final one today. Should be a fun day and night, Morgan.
Good morning. Yeah, I am the party planner. You know, I'm on top of it all. The Citrus Bowl, the New Year's Eve celebrations. Like you said, Ryan, there's going to be thousands of people down here tonight. A lot is going on. And with that means a lot of safety precautions. Safety is the #1 priority. Filippo says he expects between 3,000 to 4,000 people at his venue tonight and at others here in downtown. I'll personally be in bed. I don't want to be out in the mix, but hoping that everyone stays safe when they are out here tonight. Reporting live in downtown Orlando, I'm Morgan Parrish, Fox 35 News.
And of course, the countdown to the New Year is on. Let's take a live look at Times Square in New York City. Remember we said low 40s is what they're projecting tonight. That's where the famed crystal ball will be waiting to drop at midnight. And this morning, a plane carrying the Gonzaga University basketball team almost hit by another plane on the tarmac. Stop. Yeah, it's pretty close there. You can see the airplane looked to be there on the tarmac. An air traffic controller telling the pilot of the jet carrying the team to stop. This happened Friday in Los Angeles. It had just landed and was taxiing to the terminal when the pilot was told to hold while a Delta plane was taking off, but that smaller jet kept rolling forward. Well, obviously not supposed to happen, and the FAA is now launching an investigation.
Yikes, that is scary. From Fox 35 Mission Control now, SpaceX launching the final rocket of 2024 overnight. Take a look.
4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Taking up 21 satellites into low Earth orbit. 13 of those are part of SpaceX's direct-to-cell program, which aims to make access to the phone and internet available in all parts of the globe instantly. There were a record number of launches on the Space Coast this year. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando, a new year, of course, comes with new laws.
Yeah, quite a few of them. We're going to take a look at some of the laws that go into effect tomorrow. Plus, gift cards are pretty popular this time of the year, but if you don't use them, if you don't think about it, you might waste them as well. We're going to show you how you can actually make a little bank on those gift cards coming up next. 7:09 is the time. Let's check in with Jessica because we are tracking the fog again this morning.
Yeah, we are still seeing some of that patchy dense fog. We have a dense fog advisory in place until 9 a.m. But coming up, I'll talk more on just how long we are going to be expecting these gloomy skies, plus how warm we get for the last day of 2024. That's going to be coming up after the short break. Don't go far.
Fox 35 7-day forecast is brought to you in part by 2020 Eyeglass Superstore.
Around the clock.
Depend on us, the Fox 35 Storm Team.
First, wake up with me on Good Day Orlando. I'll prepare you for your day ahead so you have everything you need before you head out the door.
Then when the day winds down, join me weeknights on Fox 35 News. Get a look ahead at tomorrow and know what's coming. Then relax and enjoy your night.
No matter what the weather throws your way, from morning
to night, depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team.
The Mission Control Camera is sponsored by Launch Credit Union.
Welcome back. Always a big conversation this time of year. You probably got a few gift cards for the holidays, but will you use them? Some of them go unspent.
Fox consumer reporter Heather Sullivan has the smart sense on how to turn those gift cards into money you can actually use.
All right, some good tips there, and the time now is 7:15. And here's a live view of Titusville this morning, where we can still see the dense fog that's out there. It's a little worse, but you can tell it's starting to lift, so that's some good news. The sun will continue to rise, and that's going to do us a lot of favors in helping to cause a lot of that fog to clear out. So that is some good news there. We still, though, have that dense fog advisory in place for essentially all of our counties, with the exception of Marion and Flagler counties. So the counties you see shaded in blue, that dense fog advisory is until 9 a.m. So that's going to be between between now and 9 a.m., that's when we have the worst of the fog that's going to continue to take place. So a little under 2 hours now away from that expiring. Yesterday, they did extend it for a couple of counties, but likely not going to take place today. But if it does, we'll let you know. Here's a live view, though, of Daytona Beach this morning. You can see lots of birds out there this morning. A little gloomy, though. 66 degrees right now in Daytona Beach, but don't fret. We are going to be expecting some increasing sunshine before the day is all said and done with. If you're going to be heading out to the beaches, we do have a moderate risk of rip currents. Temperatures at 11 a.m. will go from 71 degrees up to around 76 through the 1 o'clock hour, and then 77 degrees through 4 o'clock. Many of us, though, will be seeing temperatures today in the upper 70s and low 80s. It is going to be a warm day as a whole, and one of the big culprits of that is going to be the fact that we have winds moving in out of the south and west. So we have a warm front to our north and then a cold front that's settled off to our north and west. That cold front is going to help to bring temperatures down a bit as we head into our Wednesday, but also a couple of sprinkles could be thrown into the mix as well as we head over the course of especially late morning and the early afternoon hours. So until then, that's when we have the best chances of seeing a couple of showers until this cold front arrives, I should say. So looking at future clouds and radar, a couple of sprinkles will be possible by about 10, 11 o'clock today, and then we are going to be expecting a lot of improvements to take shape as far as late this evening. But through 11 o'clock, again, we'll still be seeing a couple of these stray showers. They'll move in from the north and west down to the south and east, and that's when we're going to be expecting a couple of sprinkles by roughly 3 o'clock in the Orlando area, close to Osceola County, Orange County, Seminole, and these are going to be fading pretty quickly as they move on through. A few clouds will be possible as we head into tonight, but otherwise our New Year's Eve forecast is looking really pleasant. It's going to be mild. You won't need the jacket. We'll be hovering right around the mid 60s, and we'll stay nice and dry as well, so you won't need the rain gear. So that's some good news there. Now, when it comes to our high temperatures, we're going to see this kind of roller coaster ride continue. 70 degrees we are high tomorrow, down to 66 Thursday, and then by Saturday, a high of only 60 degrees. So it is going to be turning a lot cooler as we head over the course of the first half of the weekend. But looking at your 7-day forecast, you'll see temperatures will be in the mid 60s again for Thursday, nice and dry. Today's really the only chance of rain so far. Hopefully we can keep it that way. A lot of sunshine on tap as well, especially for that cool down we have on the way for Saturday. It's 7:18 and time now for a look at Snap the Sun. And this is a view from Sherry McGowan, and this is going to be in West Melbourne. A beautiful view there. I always say a nice textured cloud gives way to a beautiful looking sunrise and sunset. We would love to feature your sunrise photo. Head over to our website. Super easy to do, fox35orlando.com/snapthesun. It only takes a couple of seconds, and we could feature your photo here on Good Day Orlando. But it is now time for a check of the roadways this morning, and here's a live view, speaking of our Lake Mary Tower Cam, where we can see it's still a little hazy looking out there due to some of the low-hanging clouds and some of that patchy dense fog, but really the roadways have been in pretty good shape so far this morning. We haven't had too many major delays or incidents so far, and we've been in the green for the most part too. So if you're going to be traveling from Lake Mary Boulevard on I-4 westbound to Colonial Drive, you're looking at around a 13-minute commute. So we're in the green, which is good news. It is though time now for a look at some of our gas prices. Pump Patrol 309. This is more so what I've been seeing around my neck of the woods. That's going to be at the Circle K in Claremont on US Highway 27 and Harwood Marsh Road. Head over to our website, fox35orlando.com. Lots of good stuff there. You can submit your sunrise photos, but also take a look at some of the best gas prices in your neighborhood while you're there. All right, Amy, Ryan, I'll sit back to you.
Jess, good stuff. I'm just going to gauge by her traffic shot at 7:15. Not everybody back to work today, as we suspected.
No, I'm guessing a lot of people are working maybe a half day today, if that. So
if you're heading to the roadways better than we normally see this time of the morning. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando, the U.S. Treasury Department actually hacked by a foreign government.
Who officials are blaming for this cyber attack and how they gained access. Also, always on call, an off-duty paramedic steps in to save a life when he sees a car on fire. Why he says he did what he did, and it was not extraordinary. We beg to differ on that. It's coming up.
The Fox 35 Storm Team Thunder Truck is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
With the new year tomorrow, a number of new laws are set to go into effect in Florida.
Let's take a quick run through of some that you should be aware of. The first puts new restrictions on social media for minors. This is a bill that prevents kids from getting social media accounts while they're under the age of 14. Now, teens that are 14 and 15, they would need parental consent. The law also mandates on age verifications for anyone under 18 on sites with harmful content like pornography.
There will be a few more extra steps if you want to change the party you're registered to vote for in Florida. You will now have to agree to change it in writing, and new voter registration applicants who fail to designate a party affiliation will be registered without one.
Well, starting tomorrow, anyone who comes between a first responder and their duty could be charged with a misdemeanor. This is a new law that defines first responders as law enforcement officers, probation officers, firefighters, and also EMS. Threatening them, harassing them, or in any way impeding their ability to do their job could land you in jail for 60 days. All right, coming up on Good Day Orlando, it's not New Year's Eve without the orange ball drop in Orlando, and it is back after it didn't happen last year.
How a local business has helped save this time-honored tradition. Also, the Cheez-It Bowl is rounding out bowl season here in Orlando. We're getting a look at some of the festivities ahead of the big matchup today. We'll be back right after this.
Your bus stop forecast is sponsored by Orange County Library System. Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
Right now on Good Day Orlando at 7:30, a New Year's Eve tradition in Orlando getting a last-minute lifeline. We're going to tell you about something new for this year's orange ball drop.
And the future is hopeful for the thousands of people left without Country Thunder refunds.
It was the attention you gave us and what you brought forward for us.
We've got an update how a Fox 35 investigation is getting fans the answers that they want.
And it is another foggy morning in Central Florida. Take a look at this. That is the blanket of fog that we are seeing, and it will impact you as you head out the door this morning. Great to have you with us, everybody. I'm Amy Coffey.
I'm Ryan Elijah. That blanket's been with us for a week now. It just feels like every day it's kind of a little bit different, some worse than others.
And the week that you were gone, it was foggy every morning, too.
Just that time of the year.
Yeah,
huh?
I guess so.
At least our temperatures aren't bad, though. I mean, we've got a pretty nice day coming our way.
The temperatures are about to change dramatically.
Yeah, we talked about that blanket. Instead of the fog blanket, you're going to need a different blanket next week. Let's check in with Jessica for more on that. Hi, Jess.
Hi, you guys pay such good attention.
We do.
I appreciate that. But we do have some showers on the way this morning as well. A couple of these are impacting parts of Marion County, so we'll talk about the fog here in just a moment. But I do want to touch base on these because they did just pop up over the last couple of minutes. We are still seeing them work into parts of northwestern Marion County, so that's where the heaviest of the rain is taking place at this point this morning. It's going to gradually work its way further to the east. Far northern sections of Palm Coast and Flagler County are also dealing with a couple of lighter showers. So we mentioned Marion County, which here is a live view of Ocala at this hour. 68 degrees right now in Ocala. You can't see a whole lot, but do plan for a couple of showers along with some of this dense fog out there. And we have that dense fog advisory in place until 9 a.m. Believe it or not, it does not actually include Marion County. But that being said, we are going to be expecting some of that patchy dense fog across Marion County and Flagler, despite the fact that they're not included in that dense fog advisory. We're expecting the worst of the fog, though, to take place between now and 9 a.m. After that, we'll see a lot of steady and slow improvements. But we are going to be expecting and dodging a couple of those showers over the course of this morning and into the early afternoon as temperatures climb into the low 80s. So it's going to be a warm one today. Coming up, I'll talk more on how long this warm stretch will last and when we can expect some dramatic changes. But first, a check of Skyfox traffic for us this morning. And so far, the roadways have been honestly in really good shape. I don't think too many people have been out this morning, and we'll take it. So no major issues. If you're on I-4 westbound from Lake Mary to downtown, 16 minutes. I-4 eastbound from the attractions to downtown, 14 minutes. And then I-4 from Champions Gate to downtown, also on eastbound I-4, 23 minutes. So we're in the green across the board. I'll keep you posted of any incidents throughout the rest of the morning as well. Until then, I'll send it back over to you, Amy and Ryan at the desk.
All right. Thank you, Jess. Developing this morning, we're learning more about an officer-involved shooting in Orlando. It happened about a block away from Evans High School in the Pine Hills neighborhood. Officers responded to Shining Willow Terrace about 9:13 last night for a domestic disturbance call. When police arrived, they encountered a 26-year-old man who was found on the porch there. Officers noticed that he had a gun and told him not to touch it. They say he then ran, but was cut off by police officers. They then tased him when he reportedly refused their commands. The police chief says 2 officers shot the suspect when he reached for a gun. The suspect died on scene. Both officers are now on paid administrative leave while FDLE investigates.
And of course, this morning we're just hours away from the start of a new year.
There are going to be a number of celebrations happening all across Central Florida, including the Orange Ball drop. Fox 35's Morgan Parrish in Orlando. And Morgan, this tradition almost didn't happen this year. And I didn't even realize until a little bit ago that this has actually only been going on for 25 years. I thought it was longer.
Amy, good morning. Yeah, learn something new every day. A lot of people were nervous about this, but the show will go on. The orange ball will drop from on top of the reindeer room in Thornton Park. Now, this is going to be during Thornton Park's New Year's Eve celebration. So instead of being on Church Street, it's just going to be on Washington Street this year. And right now they are currently cleaning and shining the orange ball to make sure that it's nice and bright to bring in the new year. So a lot of people are expected to be out at that celebration tonight. And we're just hoping that everyone stays safe during it. Reporting in downtown Orlando, I'm Morgan Parrish, Fox 35 News.
Morgan, thank you. People who bought tickets to the canceled Country Thunder concert finally getting their refunds. Organizers in Osceola County called off the show due to Hurricane Milton. That was about 3 months ago. After our latest story, people did message us to say the company had reached out to them directly on Facebook to give them a refund, though one customer tells us she is still waiting on that money to actually show up.
They had told me that my refund was issued on December 19th and that I should have it in 7 to 10 business days. So then I turned around and checked with my bank. My bank told me that it only takes 2 to 7 days for something like that. So there was no authorization number on there. There was no transaction number on there. There was nothing on there that said this, was processed into your bank.
And we can verify that some customers did get their money back into their bank accounts. We did reach out to Country Thunder for comment. Again, we have not yet heard back.
Of course, it's a big sports day with South Carolina and Illinois facing off in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl this afternoon, the third and final bowl game at Camping World Stadium. Both teams landed in the Sunshine State Christmas Day. Ahead of the game, they've enjoyed, of course, the weather and all the attractions. The stadium is decked out in honor of the bowl. Sponsor, of course, decorating that, number 15, South Carolina. They've won 6 straight. Illinois entering the postseason at number 20 after a 9-3 season. Both coaches very happy to be here in Orlando.
I think it's just great that you get an opportunity to come to a great place like Orlando, have a week together.
Postseason play is just one of those things that I think once you're a part of it, you get addicted to it more and more. And obviously, these guys have earned the right to be here. Congratulations to Coach Beamer in South Carolina, just an incredible football team.
South Carolina is favored today. The game kicks off at 3 o'clock. And of course, we asked Morgan yesterday, who have you seen more fans, Illinois or South Carolina? She said it's pretty mixed downtown.
In Seminole County, the founder of the group Running for Heroes just finished his last run to honor fallen first responders. It is the end of a 6-year journey. A crowd of people showed up yesterday to cheer on Zachariah Cartledge for his final mile. Each honored a different officer who was killed in the line of duty. Zachariah is 16 years old. He started Running for Heroes when he was just 10. And while his running journey may be over, he does plan to be part of his nonprofit forever.
It just started with me running for fun in my neighborhood, and it's turned into a national nonprofit where we've given back over $1 million to injured first responders and families and been able to run over 1,800 miles in total as an organization.
Zachariah will now sit on the board of Running for Heroes, and he will mentor other kids in their running journeys.
Such a great organization he has started. Right now, flags, by the way, ordered to fly at half staff until sunset on January 28th. That will honor former President Jimmy Carter. The country's 39th president died Sunday at 100 years old. On the 4th, a procession will escort Carter from his home in Georgia to Washington. He will then lie in state at the Capitol Rotunda before a memorial service, which is set for January 9th. President Biden will deliver the eulogy. After the service, Carter will be brought back to Plains, Georgia, where he'll be buried next to his wife, Rosalind. After leaving the White House, the Carter family, of course, built a number of homes across the country. It's part of Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, it's really one of his greatest legacies. Some analysts say that would not have been possible without the state of Florida. The Carters were, of course, Georgia natives, but it was Jimmy Carter's surprise Florida primary win in 1976 that won him the Democratic Party nomination. It was an upset over segregationist George Wallace.
When he took over as governor of Georgia, he announced that this was a new day for Georgia and people were going to be treated equally regardless of the color of their skin. And so he brought that message to Florida, and Florida Democrats, the majority of them, or at least a plurality of them, 40+% in Florida, liked what they heard and they voted for Jimmy Carter.
Carter served 4 years in the White House, which made his later work with Habitat for Humanity possible. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando, 2024 brought some major hurricanes here to Central Florida, and that means a lot of power companies saw some damage.
Why customers may now need to foot part of that bill. We'll talk about that. And a local hero is joining us live as well. His name is Stephen Cabrera. He's a Marion County Fire Rescue critical care paramedic who was off duty when he saved someone's life. We're going to talk to him about that next.
The Fox 35 Care Force, it's our commitment to Central Florida.
The largest walk in the country.
We raise money and get school supplies to families in need.
We're helping over 1,000 families with full Thanksgiving baskets this year.
The Fox 35 Care Force, depend on us.
Good Day Orlando is brought to you in part by Launch Credit Union. Go beyond. Today's Weather Baby is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
This January, a new comedy at your service.
I like this soldier. He just ran into a door, but at least he ran.
Going Dutch premieres January 2nd on Fox.
Welcome back to Good Day Orlando. Your time now is 7:43. We're tracking a couple showers in and around parts of Central Florida. It is not a washout, but taking place in parts of Marion County, we do have some ongoing showers. This is going to be just to the north of Ocala, where the heaviest of the rain's taking place, but a couple of showers are now popping up south of Ocala as well. This is where really the heaviest of the rain's going to be taking place this morning. These are going to be fading showers as they continue to work their way to the east and southeast as the day progresses. Now, we also have our dense fog advisory in place. That's until 9 a.m. and that's for most of our counties until the late morning hours. So as we get closer towards 9 a.m., we will see some slow and steady improvements, but some spots have already seen some of those improvements. Here's a live view of our Daytona Beach, 66 degrees there right now, our Volusia County Hard Rock camera, where we can see that there's not a whole lot of beach to work with, but there are certainly a lot of birds out there too. So if you're going to be heading out, keep in mind we do have a moderate risk of rip currents. Temperatures will go from 71 degrees at 11 o'clock up to 76 by 1 p.m. and then 4 o'clock will be right around the upper 70s still, with the temperatures right around 77 degrees. Now, across the board, we are going to be on the warm side. Temperatures will be almost 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. 80 degrees will be our high today in Orlando, 79 in Sanford and Bithlo, 79 as well in DeLand, 78 in Daytona Beach and New Smyrna. So all in all, it's going to be a very warm day, but it's going to be kind of the last warm day for the next several days. So this is our current map when it comes to our surface analysis. So that's essentially the setup that we have overhead in the atmosphere. We have winds pushing in from the south and west, and that is helping to give way to some of our warmer temperatures. That being said, a cold front's off to our north and west, and that's going to be heading our way too, bringing with it some of these shower chances. So we'll continue to see these showers off and on over the course of the next couple of hours. They are going to try to work their way further to the south and east by roughly 3 o'clock into the Orlando area. They're going to have a tough time doing so. So they're going to be fading as they work their way closer to us. But a couple of sprinkles and a couple of showers can't be ruled out. That's why we have that 20% chance of rain. But as we get closer towards around 6, 7 o'clock, we really begin to dry things out. Still staying pretty warm though. So for any sort of New Year's Eve plans you might have, if you're going to be staying up late to watch the ball drop, or maybe you're taking part in any sort of celebratory plans, we're looking at 66 degrees through 10 o'clock, 65 for midnight, and then 63 degrees through the 2 a.m. hour if you're going to be staying up extra late. Now, when it comes to temperatures, as we look ahead towards around almost a week from now, a little over a week from now, we have a high chance of below normal temperatures. So this is going to be pretty far out that we're seeing this, but we could see temperatures anywhere from around 15 to 20 degrees below normal. So that's going to be something, kind of the next big story we're watching, because otherwise the foreseeable forecast for your 7-day on your screen now is actually pretty quiet. We go from 70 degrees tomorrow for your high to 66, but down to 60 for your high on Saturday. So we do cool things off quite a bit in time for the weekend. It is 7:45 and time now for our Fox 35 Weather Baby. And this little cutie we have for you today is from William Sean Clark. And this is Colton Crosby Clark, who is 9 weeks old and is ready for colder temperatures. I think, Colton, you might be one of the few, but we're glad you're ready and prepared. You have such a cute little koala sweatshirt on. He is ready for the cold. But head over to our website. We would love to see more of your baby photos. That's fox35orlando.com/weather-babies. All right, it's time now for a look at the roadway delays with Skyfox traffic because we do have a new incident that has popped up. This is a crash on South Kirkman Road heading southbound. So this is going to be near the old Winter Garden Road ramp. So this is going to be very close to the Orla Vista area as well, Orla Vista, and that's going to be south of the 408 as well. So just keep that in mind. Not seeing a whole lot in the way of delays just yet, but we'll keep you posted if any do pop up. Otherwise, we've been in the green in terms of our drive time, so roadways have been moving along just fine. I'll keep you posted, though, if any sort of changes throughout the rest of the morning. Until then, I'll send it back over to you guys at the desk.
All of our love and attention. There's much more coming your way this morning. Let's check in with Danielle. She's got a preview of what's coming up on our 8 o'clock hour. Dee?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Good to see you this morning. Coming up on Good Day Orlando in our 8 o'clock hour, a New Year's Eve tradition in downtown Orlando has been saved. We're going to talk live to one of the owners of the Reindeer Room about how they're going to be watching the orange ball drop in Thornton Park's party tonight. Plus, norovirus cases are spiking all around the country. We'll talk live to a doctor about how to protect your family. All that and more coming up on Good Day Orlando at 8 o'clock in just about 8 minutes. We'll see you then.
Good Day Orlando is sponsored by Grills Lakeside.
Welcome back. 7:55. The busy hurricane season kept power companies, of course, on their toes. Now some customers will potentially be footing part of that bill. This year's hurricane season knocked out power for thousands. Well, Duke Energy is working to recoup about $1.1 billion in costs related to hurricane damage. That means customers will see an increase of about $21 a month, but you won't start seeing that until March. The rates continue for 12 months at that point. The increase still needs to be approved by the state. And Florida Power and Light also expected to raise rates. That plan would cover 2026 through 2029. The company is pointing to issues such as a growth and a need to continue expanding its systems. FPL will file its full plan as early as February. And for almost a decade, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have finally reached a divorce settlement. Now marks the end of one of the longest divorces in Hollywood history. Jolie filed for the divorce from Pitt more than 8 years ago. No documents have been filed. A judge would still need to approve that agreement.
Well, there's much more to come in the 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando. Here's a look at the stories we're working on. We start with Fox 35's Morgan Parrish. Morgan?
Hey, Amy, good morning. Happy New Year's Eve. There's a lot going on today between the Citrus Bowl and New Year's Eve celebrations. Coming up, we're going to tell you how the Orlando Police Department is cranking up security.
And I'm keeping a close eye on the forecast because not only do we have some patchy fog in and around the area, but also some showers that have started to take place. So coming up, I'll talk more how long the rain is going to be here to stay, how long we'll expect the fog, and just how warm we get for the last day of 2024. Now, I'm also keeping a close eye on the roadways, too. We've had a couple of incidents so far, but overall, quiet morning. So coming up in the 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando, I'll time out some of those drive times for you, plus any sort of incidents or delays. That's all coming up after the short break. Don't go far.